Welcome everybody. How's everybody doing today? Glad I was able to start at 5 o'clock. Hopefully that'll allow some of our friends in Europe to participate at least for a little while before it gets too late there. I gotta turn on my chat real quick. There we go. So a couple of things before we get started. It appears there's nothing I can do about the endless cycle of retreating that most of my Army of the Potomac seems to be in. I tried to do one thing. I tried to create a new corps and transfer the units from those retreating units into the new corps. But all that did was do exactly what I'm having happen to Grant's army over here in Kentucky, which is that the transfer makes them basically unavailable for 4 to 5 months. You can see here where I've got an entire corps because I created corps under Grant, and all of these units are showing ETAs in the 164-day range to 220 days, even though these were units that were already present in this area. So I'm already down Grant's entire army. It appears I'm also down most of the Army of the Potomac as well. So we are basically fighting a Confederate army of 550,000 with something like 100,000 effective troops in the field right now. So this may be a hopeless situation, but we're going to play it out as best we can. But honestly, if I don't find a way to take Washington back pretty soon, I think this campaign probably ends. But that might be for the best because even though I'm kind of glitching out because of all the upgrades that have happened to the game, the next campaign should be much more stable and much more competitive, I guess. But right now, all I have that I can really fight with out of the Eastern Army is the 27,000 men of Emory Upton's First Corps. So they're pretty much all I've got because I've got all these men down here. John Gibbon's Second Corps. Who else do we have there? We've got, I think, the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th Corps are all there. And all useless, plus the Army of the Susquehanna. So we've got, Gibbon's 2nd Corps, 29,000 men. Duval's 3rd Corps, almost 34,000 men. And Sherman's 4th Corps with 25,000 men. All completely useless to me unless they stop this cycle of retreat, which they're in. But for now, we've got a battle to fight. Hey, Shane, how's it going in Kyer, Philly? My wife and I have our roots there. I think we've talked about that before. New battle cruisers coming to War Thunder. Very cool. That should be a lot of fun. All right, we're back to the Gettysburg battlefield where we are continually fighting because of the location that we're currently in. Let's see what the situation looks like this time. All right, same numbers as before, 64 to 27. I don't believe anybody's got any reinforcements on the way. Now the Confederacy does not, so that's the one bit of good news. I know I don't have any reinforcements coming. Will this work on a laptop? If it's got a really good processor, yes. This game is not heavy on a graphics card, but it is heavy on the processor. So as long as you've got a decent processor, you can run it. All right, so we're going to have to be smart here. This is still basically my only effective force in the East. Fighting in Delaware, and I have no Delaware units. I think I do. I did recruit some Delaware units. I just don't know where they are. The nice news here is that we get to place our troops all the way down here if we want to, which means we can take the high ground, maybe even as far as Big Round Top if we can get there, and I think we can. So let's put Phil Kearney over that way with the objective of going to Big Round Top. All right. So let's get our cavalry up there first, just so we can grab it. And then I'm gonna take Phil Kearney up in this area around Little Round Top. And we're gonna try to build a defensive line right in here somewhere. The wheat field up to the peach orchard is actually relatively high ground as well. And then we'll move, let's get Tyler's division up to maybe like right here for now. All right, we'll see what happens. We have to be super careful just because this is all I've got to fight these 60,000 men. We're waiting. There they go. I was waiting for them to get their orders and start moving. Mr. Beep, anytime if there's somebody who has a role on Patreon, they just need to message me and I will set up their role. I can confirm their role on Patreon. If they just let me know what their username is on Patreon, I can make sure I give them the role. I can assign it. For some reason, about 6 or 8 months ago, Patreon stopped working properly with Discord and stopped assigning the roles, and I'm not sure why. All right, so we're going to get some cav up here on Big Round Top. Can't really put artillery up there. Same reason that they didn't try to put artillery up there during the actual battle, which is that it's too covered by trees. You didn't have, excuse me, a clearing to be able to fire the artillery from up there. But Little Round Top you could because it was largely clear on top. We got to get the artillery going here. Of course, none of this matters if he doesn't attack me from the right direction. I haven't really, Political Whiz Kid, experienced too much lag in the game. But I've got a pretty good processor. I can't refuse it, Steve, because if I don't fight the battle, they take Philadelphia and the war's over. I have to stand here. Actually, we're fighting in Maryland and not Delaware, Phil. Oh, we didn't get our other artillery up, or our other cavalry up here. I'm going to put them down to Tawnytown Road just to keep an eye out on things. And let's get this artillery. He's taking the Emmitsburg Road, so he's moving this way. I don't know if I'll have time to dig in here or not. Yeah, I think I probably will get overwhelmed. But we're going to do our best. Let's see what the morale, 46. So we've still got a pretty significant morale advantage. And a lot of that comes from the fact that we're fighting further north. So we're not going to have time to dig in, that's for sure. All right, long range orders. All right, I'm going to move him in right there. Actually, we're going to send you right over here. And let these guys go up there. So he does have some units up here this way. So he is trying that. Okay, here we go. If he gets around me, I'm in big trouble, unfortunately. This might be where I need to pull back. to the high ground. In fact, I think that's what I'm going to go ahead and do here. The patches auto-install, Rick. This is the first corps, Zach, of the Army of the Potomac, which is the only corps of the Army of the Potomac I'm able to use because they're all stuck in an endless retreat. I will start a new campaign immediately. I won't wait. I think the game's pretty stable at this point. I just kind of had some glitches, unfortunately. Don't try it. I have the high ground. That one never gets old. All right, so we've got some cav up here to cover the flank. I'm going to move these guys right in here in this gap. I'm still waiting for Tyler to issue his orders. There they go. So the thing with the orders is you have to wait until every brigade receives their orders before any of them start moving out. That's why it takes a while sometimes to start seeing everybody move. I did submit the second tutorial today to the game, and provided there aren't any changes they need me to make, that should be live pretty soon in the game, and that's all about the battle user interface. And then I'm nearly done with the third tutorial. I've got maybe a couple of clips left to record for that, and that'll be all about issuing orders. So those should be appearing in the game pretty soon. I usually don't chase down retreating enemies because the retreat timer is so short that by the time I'd catch up to them, the retreat would have happened anyway. Burnham's from a different corps. That's why he's not moving. All right, let's get him up here. Or he's from a different division. All right, let's get a look at where we're at with everybody here. It's about to get interesting. All right, let's get these guys dismounted. I'm going to go ahead and, if he allows me the time, build some breastworks. I can't dig in with the cav, but they've got the high ground, so that shouldn't be an issue. Ground will be, if I do start a new campaign, it'll be north again, just because I want to be able to win the north campaign first. If they fall back before a retreat, then yeah, I could pursue. All right, where are we going here? Let's put the Irish Brigade right here. Pull these guys up here. All right, guys, you guys have got to get moving. He's coming at me pretty quickly here. I don't think we're going to get our breastworks completely built, unfortunately. Get behind what you've got. Let's bring the North Carolina Mounted Infantry over here. If he doesn't have anybody over here, we probably need to bring Zealous Tower up and try to get on his flank. Taking a little while for those orders to come down from the division headquarters because it's up on the hill. All right, now here's the thing. There's an opportunity here. Reed looks like he's going to break pretty quickly. That's not good. Steven, good point. So would Hood. Oh, Political Whiz Kid, man, those are the days, huh? I wouldn't have this channel without Ultimate General Civil War. That was really kind of the game I built this channel on for a long time. Thankfully, he is not attacking with everything he's got, which again is going to give me an opportunity. We fought this army before, and I think he has I don't know who the commander is, but he's obviously not strong on initiative. Who's his commander? Major General George Porterfield. He just must not be a very high initiative commander because he never commits his full force. And it really gives me opportunities. Oh, but I spoke too soon, didn't I? Because here he comes. Oh, Robinson. What are you taking so long for, buddy? You're going to get caught. Is this one commander brag? Yeah, that would make sense, wouldn't it? Where's he going? He's going right there. Come on, Robinson. This is my concern right here. Even though these guys are behind breastworks, they're really... The Tennessee Volunteers seem like they're just ready to crack at any moment. I need you guys to move up. They're not engaged. Let's get General Meade over here so he can issue those orders faster. Send in Sickles. Too bad he's with another army. That's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping I can break these couple of brigades on the left before he sends in too much more. Let's give these guys long-range orders. Here he comes. He's coming at me, so... Oh, Benjamin, I'm hoping to get to Springfield one of these days. We would very much... I've never been to Lincoln's grave, and I see they have a pretty cool museum there, too. It looks like my kids would enjoy. Yeah, skirmishers might be a good idea here. Although we're engaging the skirmishers, we're not losing a lot of men at the moment. Appreciate it, Zach. If I could tell any historical figure something about an event they were part of before it happened, who, what, and why, I would tell Lincoln not to go to the theater. Because I feel like, and I say that precisely because I feel like that is an event that shaped history in a negative way for millions of people. I feel, and maybe I'm being naive in this, but I feel like the whole South, particularly how things went for former slaves in the South, could have been very, very different if Lincoln hadn't been killed. Then again, I mean, I think it was always going to be a challenge, but I think those first few months after the war ended were really key in setting the tone for how things were going to go, and I think Andrew Johnson botched that royally. They suspect Lincoln had Marfan syndrome, but I don't know that there was any kind of foregone conclusion he was going to die in the next 4 years. He probably wouldn't have lived to be 85, but few people did then anyway. Alright, looks like Dorsey Pender broke. Tell Captain Smith to slow his ship down. Alright, we gotta turn these guys around. Because he's coming up and over the hill. Now the good news is, although Reed, I don't know, he's not exactly an ideal candidate for this, but we need to move Benton up just a little bit so he gets into range to fire. The good news is we've moved to minor victory stage now. Let's see. So his morale's down to 41. We're going to have to drop it a lot more than that. Need to get up here and see how things are. Battalion of Engineers are holding pretty well so far. it looks like these guys, Latimer's brigade, probably... Oh, they've only lost 4 men, but I don't expect they're going to last real long. Let's get Egan up there with him. And then we're going to move these 2 units up. My 12-pounders are firing. Hey, Bjorn, what's going on? That would be some Patriots Falcons stuff. Yeah, coming back from the 28-3, huh? I don't know. I don't expect to win it unless the rest of my Army of the Potomac miraculously breaks free from their retreat cycle they're in. I'm a little surprised Reed didn't break as well. I think the breastworks probably saved him from that. Alright, Benton, get up there and help out. The Highlanders get to fight on the Highland. Commanders can get wounded, yes. And killed. Hey Bjorn, I'm glad you're enjoying that. I'm trying to find stuff I can get to create content since I'm not able to travel. Found out today that my older 2 kids, my son who's in 7th grade, my daughter who's in 10th grade, are going to be going to online school next week. Just for next week. My youngest, who's in 2nd grade, he's still going to be going in person. We've been full-time face-to-face in school since the start of the year. But I think they're just dealing with staffing issues right now. We just don't have enough staff for the middle school and the high school, so they've had to switch at least for next week. Actually, I'm gonna put Reed up on Nelson and keep these guys going over here. I think high ground has a pretty significant impact. Let's take a look and see what the numbers look like right now. Get a sense of that a little bit. You can see the impact. I've inflicted 1,700 casualties to his 300 right now. I don't know how much of that is just because one unit broke. Now, see, the 3rd North Carolina Mounted Infantry has inflicted 808 casualties. And that's the unit right here. That's Augustus Martin. So that was over here. So I don't know if that was just the unit that broke. If he's showing as missing, that could be the majority of those casualties. Just ask Anakin. Zivagu, I've seen you post that like 4 times and I still have no idea what it is that you're asking. Alright, speaking of wounded, there we go. The commander of the Battalion of Engineers, Burnham, has been wounded up on top of Big Round Top, and that'll have an impact on their morale. Hopefully not a devastating one. Alright, we got to get the 3rd Brigade moved up here. See if we can throw back Jubal early. He's sending another brigade forward here. He's got artillery that's moved up, and they're probably firing into Egan's flank. Colonel Napoleon? I would guess it probably is. Speaking of the Battalion of Engineers, they've got their perk, and I was specifically requested to give these guys the engineering perk, which I think is right there. They're specially trained for engineering, allow them to assemble pontoons while increasing the speed of digging in. Engineering points plus 25% in a battle. So Jones is actually charging right into our Cav, who has a poor melee skill. But it looks like we broke him, so that's excellent. A reaction on Civil War movies. Of course, I couldn't do the whole movie. I mean, that would probably violate some kind of copyright laws if I just sat down and watched like a 3-hour movie. But I guess I could do like a video just kind of talking about my impressions on a movie. Alright, so far so good. Holding the high ground is working for us. He's charging right into my guns. We're giving him a taste of canister at the moment. Frivolous Brigade's only lost 27 men so far. Man, he is coming right at my center. Where are we at here? Let's see, minor victory. His morale's down to 33, but mine's down to 54, so I've lost some as well. Let's see. Let's go back up to the top here. So now we've lost 1,600 men to his 4,000. Strength report. So that's 6% on both sides. We can't sustain that, unfortunately. I need to be inflicting better casualties than that. So, and I just had my first unit break. That's the Highlanders. We'll see if we can get them back. We're going to give them iron discipline, and we're going to try to rally. Yeah, when the icons aren't as solid, that is an indication. Of course, these guys, Battalion of Engineer, lost their brigade commander, so that's going to hurt. That's always going to hurt your morale. Reed's been like that since the beginning. Let's give him iron discipline as well. See if that helps with this whole nervous morale thing they've got going on. Alright, we broke this guy over here. So let's bring the Irish boys up. No, not you. Let's get Thomas Maher's Irish. We just lost another unit in the center. Oh boy. Doubt we're going to be able to get Robinson up there, but let's give it a try. End of day. Oh my gosh, I got bailed out by the end of the day. I wasn't even paying attention to what time it was. That bailed me out though, because that allows me to redeploy. So let's do this. Let's get Tyler's division in position here. So we have them all in one place. I'm going to put one of his brigades in the rear there, like that. And then Kearney is kind of spread out at the moment, which makes it a little more difficult to move his forces around. No. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Darn it. Now I've got to redo the whole thing. That's all right. Let's put Phil Kearney over here. And then Tyler up here. I'll turn Benton around this way. The broken units, if they successfully didn't retreat all the way, then yeah, I should get them back. I've also got some engineering points now, which is huge because that allows me to build parapets up here, but only on this side. So let's see if we can do this. Come on. Doesn't appear to be letting me do it. I think it's the terrain. We just can't do it up on top like that. They have more men than I have bullets. Yeah, I'm afraid you're right. So we're going to have to try breastworks. Breastworks we can do. Parapets, unfortunately, I just don't think I can do up here. And I believe those build instantly when you do it in deployment phase. May I recommend Panzers? Excellent idea. If only. Okay, there we go. Then we're going to put Napoleon Dana there. Reed still has me a little nervous right here. Put Burnham right there. Where's my artillery? I got to get my artillery somewhere where they'll actually be able to fire. Probably down here somewhere. All right, let's do this. Now, ideally, you don't want to be on top of the hill. There's what's called the military crest, which would be probably down about right here somewhere, which is where you really want to be. Oh, he's retreating! So I did all that work for nothing, but that's okay. If you go to Little Round Top, for example, and if you look at my video from my visit to Little Round Top last year, actually it was in January, on my other channel, you'll see that they weren't at the top. They were about a third to a half of the way down. James, appreciate that. I was excited to be in Shiloh. I only had a few hours at the battlefield, but I had an ancestor who fought there, so I was excited to be able to finally visit that one. They did mention that there will be some presence of Gatlings in late game at some point. So that is something that's going to be coming. Captain Cruft became an inspiration for his men. He was one of the artillery commanders. An Apache, that would be nice. I'd settle for an A-10 or a AC-130 gunship. That'd be nice. All right, so yeah, Dorsey Pender lost face for the Confederates. So now we'll be driving that unit back, but I don't think my first corps alone is not going to be enough to retake Washington. I am going to try to advance on Baltimore, though, because I really have no choice. I've got to take something back before the morale drops any lower. If it drops below 25, the war's over. Unfortunately, all of these guys are still stuck in endless retreat, making them completely worthless to me. And I'm probably, even without Grant's 50,000 men, I'm probably going to have to make this attack anyway. What I think I'm going to do here is, since Grant's men just aren't showing up, I'm going to send Irvin McDowell down here. We've got to take some Confederate real estate to build our morale back up. So I'm going to go for Corinth. He may have another army down here somewhere. But I'm going to go for Corinth. I'm going to leave the rest of these guys here and just take my chances. I got to start being bold. I have sent, yeah, it's a bug because I've tried multiple times to issue orders to these units. I've given them stop orders. I've given them orders to advance. Nothing is changing the fact that they're in retreat. And I've seen a couple other people mention having that issue as well. And I'm not sure why his Army of the Northwest is still showing in combat when I've just defeated them. They should be retreating. Wright's Corps has gone into central Pennsylvania, and he's probably headed for Harrisburg now. If there was a console, I think now would be the time to use it. Yeah, I don't know of any console commands. I could probably revisit some Ultimate General at some point just for old time's sake. Oh, yeah, that Confederate Navy force. I think they just fell back because nothing there when I sent my Navy. In fact, we're going to go in with our 133 guns here and see if we can get a victory against the James River Squadron. Wait, 9 ships, 307 guns? Oh, man, this is awesome, too. And then we're going to go in. It was Munford's Corps, I think, that was trying to make that advance. And then we're going to go... The original plan here was to blockade up here. So we're going to go back to that. Yeah, this was started before the recruitment nerf, and I think the recruitment nerf is what messed everything up. So his Army of the Potomac headquarters is up here. Maybe that's who I was fighting, not his Army of the Northwest. We're gonna try to play it out, but I think we may have lost this one. But the good news is, since we're just gonna do Union again, I can just go back in and recruit all of the patron units right from the start and have those ready to go when we start a new campaign. And hopefully it'll be a much more even matched campaign now that the recruitment issue has been fixed. All right, now his Army of the Northwest is withdrawing. Well, I know John Buford, after Gettysburg, got really sick. Died, was it like typhoid or something he died of in December of 63, right around the time he got promoted to Major General. Hal Nimoy, the recruitment issue is that the enemy was recruiting like crazy. You can see here he's got 532,000 men in the field, and he had something like 400,000 by the end of 1861. It finally, when they fixed the issue, this is about where he was, so it hasn't gone up any higher. I could do a mass recruitment, but I've got such a backlog of recruitment already that the units I'm already waiting on are backlogged to ridiculous numbers, like 300 and some days. And again, that's probably a result of a glitch from when they fixed everything. None of my newly recruited units are arriving anytime soon. 1st Marine Brigade's arriving, but most of them are not. Most of them are going to take a year or more. Looks like he's sending Jackson. Oh, he's got an army under Jackson right here. Oh, get those boys. First Corps Army of the Potomac is in contact with Hampton Division. What are your orders? Oh, interesting. All right. So this poor First Corps, which is the only active force I have in the East, has to keep fighting these battles at Gettysburg. I do remember that quote about him saying now he wished he had lived. Reverting to an earlier save could help, but it would still be a save that was under the old situation. Oh, 166,000 men. What? This might be the end. This might be the end right here. Hanson, what game is that? All right, how many of these men does he already have on the field is the question. Only 52, so I think it's doable if we do it in 4 hours. Then the Army of the Potomac arrives, the Confederate Army of the Potomac. We have 4 hours. I believe that we can win. All right. So this is going to be like a bonsai charge here because we've got to drive these guys from the field before. We probably aren't even going to get that chance because it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon and it's March. I don't even think we have 4 hours. All right, boys. Go at them. Con, welcome. Glad you could glad you could make it. I'm afraid you're probably here to watch the end of this campaign. Too many of my units are in a situation where they can't fight. There's too many glitches, so I think we're going to be starting a new campaign after this. Yeah, it's fair, James, that it is pretty much on beyond ridiculous. So let's it's the Battle of Helm's Deep. Let's play this battle out. If we lose this battle, then we know it's over because he's going to march on Philly, and that'll be the end. We'll go ahead and start a new campaign. But then I'll have the tedious task of punching in 40 or so patron units. But I don't have to do all of them right off the bat. I can at least start it, and then after the end of the stream today, I can get the rest of them queued up. Con, that's one of my favorite scenes in all of Lord of the Rings is that that conversation that Gandalf has with, is it Pippin? Up on as they're beating down the door during the Battle of Pelennor Fields. The journey doesn't end here. Death is just another step on the journey, and then he describes, what it's like. I love that part. Have I tried lighting the beacons of Gondor? Gondor calls for aid. Yeah, that's a good one too, Hendrix. I agree. And then Tolkien and C.S. Lewis, who wrote the Chronicles of Narnia, were good friends. I believe they were both professors at the same time and at Oxford. And so I love C.S. Lewis's work too. And there's several scenes in Lewis's Chronicles of Narnia that I absolutely love. All right, we're just going to keep pressing ahead. Battle of Elkton Bridge, where men cried. All right, here they come. Oh, there's Hood. Oh, poor Reed's got to be the guy in the lead, doesn't he? And there's the end of the day, which means now he gets all the reinforcements. Yeah. Yeah. Here we go. Let's see what the numbers look like now. Oh, look, it's only 5-1. Bonsai. All right, let's speed up the time a little bit here. Oh. What is Miles doing out there? I would love, one of the what ifs for me that I would love to have seen, I would love to have seen what would have happened if Phil Kearny had commanded the Army of the Potomac, which he would have if he hadn't been killed at Chantilly. He was the anti-McClellan. He was everything the opposite of what McClellan was, which is why McClellan drove him nuts. And he darn near, he was one of several commanders that were pretty much on the brink of insubordination during the 7 Days campaign because of their absolute frustration with McClellan's unwillingness to do anything. All right, the Irish Brigade's going to take the lead in this attack. You and the Highlanders did well in our first battle in this stream tonight. They were holding Big Round Top before they were broken by overwhelming numbers. Here they are right here. This is kind of our last hurrah. We're going up against 5-1 odds, and we're gonna be losing the campaign after this battle. This is kind of our Five Forks. Nuts! Yes. Phil, I wonder about that too. Albert Sidney Johnston was one of the few generals during the Civil War that had been a general before the Civil War. The vast majority of general officers during the Civil War had been lieutenants and captains before the war started, but Johnston had actually been a general. All right, we got to get these guys up there. All right, the Irish Brigade having to kind of do this by themselves at the moment. Let's get the Highlanders up on this side. Come on, Irish boys, do your thing. They've just got muskets too, and they're tired. Fighting in the rain. Surrounded. Get up here, Reed. Help us out. Actually, you go after Hood. I have no idea where the Confederate reinforcements are. We just know, I'm hoping they're all backed up on this road. Highlanders are doing good. They were, in the previous battle, they were holding Big Round Top before they got overwhelmed by numbers. But they're right here in the center right now. I'm trying to get them over here. This is probably the last battle. But we'll start a new campaign. Picket after Petersburg, the infamous fish fry. Yeah, nobody, I believe the last Revolutionary War veteran died a few years before the Civil War started, so yeah, no, not really any connections there. No, don't break. Maher's boys are holding as best they can, but man, I can't get any of these other units to get up on his flanks like they should. He just threw back 3 brigades, the Irish boys. Yes! Iron discipline, baby. Come on, get up there and help him. Where's his division commander? That's the problem. Their division commander's way the heck back here, Tyler. And they're not moving. All right, Daniel Tyler, get your butt up there to the rest of your division. It's just taking forever to get orders to these guys because their division commander's so far behind, and that is a problem. Reed's going to get thrown back because of this artillery here, I'm afraid. We've got to get this artillery up. Meade's got to get his boys into the action quickly. Okay, there we go, finally. Move up a little more. Let's get the Highland Brigade over here. I did pick up Steel Division 2. I haven't had much of a chance to play it yet. I also got Wargame Red Dragon. Haven't had much time to play that one yet either. Alright, now he's got big round top, but I don't care. I ain't going anywhere near that. Alright, Tennessee Volunteers. You broke on me last time. Don't do it again. Highlanders, over here. Come on. Where's Tyler? He's still taking his good old sweet time getting up there. Grumblebee, there. I don't believe the mod divisions in this first corps. They're in one of the other. I think they're in one of the other corps that's stuck in retreat mode that I haven't been able to use. Alright, how are we doing? Let's look at the numbers. Well, 2-1 casualties, but we can't sustain... Oh, man, he's up to 166,000 men on the field now. So we're now numbered about... Oh, there goes Reed. About 6-1, and my right flank just collapsed. Let's send the engineers over there. Yeah, Benjamin, I played Steel Division 1, but yeah, Steel Division 2 looks like it's a whole different animal. Mr. Beep, yeah, we'll see how long this goes. How long have we been going here? Been going almost an hour, I guess, so... Yeah, I would say chances are I'll probably just start a new campaign with a new stream because it'll be a live stream campaign again. We'll try to do it 3 times a week because that way I can get everything started and get all the patron units queued up before the first stream, so I don't have to do that as part of a stream because that's kind of a slow part of the game, watching me create all the units. And then I can just kind of go over where they all are. Benjamin, I can imagine. What's for dinner? I ordered pizza tonight because I was streaming early at 5 o'clock, so I didn't, normally I'd be making dinner at this time. So I ordered pizza, and we had pizza right before the stream. In fact, mine's still sitting here half-eaten. Alright, who got wounded? The commander of the Battalion of Engineers, McCarthy, over here. Alright, Mara, I need you over here. I can't believe they only lost 54 men. Pizza Hut mini balls. So Thomas Maurer died just a couple years after the war. He drowned under mysterious circumstances. He fell off a boat and drowned, I think, in like the Missouri River. There, he finally got his orders. Con, I guess I could. That's something I could do. I'm always looking. I'm slowly, and I mentioned this during my video for Empire of Sin earlier today. I'm slowly going to be kind of changing how we do Patreon because we've got so many patrons now. And believe it or not, a lot of people who sign up as patrons don't really take advantage of the perks, and that's totally fine. I get that some people just want to support the channel, and they're not necessarily worried about the perks. But I want to be able to offer the perks to as many people as possible, so I'm going to be kind of changing how we do that. I'm going to make all the perks kind of game-specific, which it kind of is now. Like, the vast majority of the patrons are at the $10 a month because they get to name a brigade in this game, and so that's, probably 75% of the patrons are doing that. But for some of the other games, there's only really an opportunity for maybe 3 or 4 people to get a perk. So if I make some of those limited perks in that way, I can do that. This one obviously allows for a ton of perks because you have so many brigades. I mean, it actually makes it a lot of fun to be able to, because like, Battalion of Engineers just leveled up to a elite unit. Because the units mean a lot more to me. Like this one, the 3rd Brigade, it's just like, it doesn't have any personality to me. But the Battalion of Engineers, I know that means something to somebody, and so therefore it means a little more to me. And you start to remember the units more when they take on that personality. And when I see those red uniforms out there, I know that I'm looking at the Highland Brigade. Or I know that I'm looking at the U.S. Sharpshooters when I see the green. So that's a lot of fun for me, for us to be able to do that kind of thing. Plus, I love hearing everybody's stories, their backgrounds behind why they named the units the way that they did. Yep, here comes Ewell. So we'll get Robinson ready to deal with him. What's the numbers looking like? Still about 2-to-1 casualties, but even though I've inflicted 2-to-1 casualties, that's 7% of my army and 2% of his. See, my morale's pretty good, but the routes are still in his favor because I don't even remember seeing one of my units route. I don't know what the heck Miles is doing back here. Alright, we just broke Robertson. Alright, Meade, turn your boys that way. Let's bring Martin up here. Robinson up right here. I want to try and get Benton up on this spot there. He's really loading up on my right flank though. Let's see if we can get the artillery up over here. Do I see him sending a courier? If he's sending a courier, does that mean he's got units behind me? Where's that courier going? He might just be going to the other side because his army commander's over here. And he's sending the courier to these units, and that seems to be the most direct route. Come on, Tyler's got orders to move up here. He's just not getting there yet. Miles is pulling a Ledley. Oh, let's hope not. Yeah, he pretty much is, though. Alright, let's get... Where's Zealous Tower going? He should be moving up. I'm still waiting for the Highlanders to get their new orders. And let's move them up right here. Alright, Maher, you turn that way. Mercer is right there. He's lost 1,000 men. That's almost 50%. Of course, so is Dana. Dana's lost 1,000 men, which is about a third of his force. But he's holding. Our artillery's coming up. Yes, Bjorn. Tapsel was written by Dan Butterfield when he was a brigade commander during the 7 Days battle, I believe. He was actually commander of the brigade that included the 20th Maine. He got the Medal of Honor during the 7 Days campaign. I visited his grave at West Point. It's the largest grave marker in the entire cemetery there at West Point. I don't know if the artillery is going to be able to fire in these woods or not. That's what we're going to find out. If they won't, we'll have to bring them out here into the open and try to fire in this flank. Looks like they're firing so far. I don't know if all of them are firing, Let's take a look. Looks like just the two on the outside are. Alright, we broke Hugh Mercer. I'm assuming that's Hugh Mercer. Could be wrong. Tyler finally decided to show up. We're holding this pretty good because he's not using his overwhelming numbers to just bury me. My losses are hurting me worse than his, though, and I think that's because it goes by percentage. As you can see, I'm taking more hit from losses than he is right now. Now he's sending skirmishers forward. Dana, I know Dana's losing a lot of men. Do I like animals? Yes, I do. Love dogs. Love cows. Not a huge fan of cats. Execute Order 66, if only. Really not sure why I can't get the Highlanders to move. Come on, Miles, get up there. I'm going to try to put Miles on the flank here. Don't trust sheep. Sheep are evil. So I should never go to, what is it, New Zealand or Australia? One of them has more sheep than people. My favorite animal would have to be cows. I love cows. I don't know why, I just love cows. Hey, Ewan, have a good night. Take care, man. Michael, I don't know a lot about the 3rd Wisconsin. I know Wales has a lot of sheep, too. I love to eat cows. I once ate a cow that I met. When I lived in Pennsylvania, our house was right in front of a farm. In fact, our backyard was bounded by a electric fence. And one day, the neighbors invited us over for dinner and then informed us that one of the cows that used to roam in our backyard was on the dinner table. Hey, Gerald, how's it going? Hey, awesome. Congratulations to close on the house. I know what that's like. I know how much it takes to get that done, so that's awesome. I'm excited for you. This is probably the final battle. Who was killed? Oh, Dana has fallen. Man, and they had suffered. I mean, they have been heroic in this battle. Napoleon Dana's forces. They've lost, look at that, 1,400 now. They've lost half their men. This is like the first day at Gettysburg, the First Corps. Like pretty much every brigade was 50% casualties on both sides. The First Corps for the Union, Third Corps for the Confederacy. I still cannot get the Highlanders to go up into the line. Oh, there goes Dana's brigade. They just broke. I think that's probably the beginning of the end. Let's get Phil Kearney to rally these boys the best they can. Highlanders are moving now. Now I wish I had plugged them in over here. Hey, Miles. That's not where I told you to go. Get up here on the flank. Ugh. Yeah, Dana's 3rd Brigade and the Irish Brigade. Both of those units in this battle were just fantastic. Irish Brigade's still holding. They've only lost 600 men, but boy, they have done some incredible work. I want to see who's inflicted the most casualties. Let's look at the combat report. We've inflicted 7,000 to his 3,500. And you can see there the 2nd Division is most of those. Yeah, 3rd Brigade had inflicted 1,800 casualties on the enemy. Let's see over here. Irish Brigade inflicted 1,300 casualties, and they've only lost, how many did we say? 600. So they've inflicted 2-to-1 casualties. Incredible numbers there. In this case, I don't know why Dana retreated that direction. He probably should not have. Yeah, Miles is exhausted. I really don't know why. But that's why he's not moving. The third... Michael, you talking about the 3rd Wisconsin? Very cool. Nathan, how's it going? You're here just in time for probably near the end of this campaign. Just too many things glitched out for me, unfortunately. We're going to speed up time a little bit. But that's what happens when you're dealing with a game that's in early access and is constantly undergoing a lot of changes. So we kind of bear with those things because we know what kind of game this is going to become. Hey, Miles is finally moving. I don't know how effective they're going to be. We're lasting way longer in this battle than I thought we would, considering we're outnumbered 154,000 to 19,700. Another one of my units just withdrew. Or was that one of his? That was Archer's brigade. He's got so many men. He could just encircle me if he wanted to. At least when we lose, we have the excuse they cheated. Dana withdrew. We expected that. Alright, my whole battery is firing now, so that's nice. We just threw back Loring. Another one of his units withdrew. Who's taking a lot of casualties now? McCarthy? Where's that? Right here. That's the battalion of engineers. They're down to 25 rounds of ammunition. They've lost almost half their men. No. Alright, Miles, just start firing on Hood. Hood, the Peninsula Cavalry, they've only got 420 men. If only we had 6 more corps. Could have entrenched. I don't know it would have mattered with the numbers he's got. And I can't entrench the cavalry on the right or on the left. My goal had been to try and hit him and attack him and drive him back before the reinforcements arrived, but then we hit nightfall, so that wasn't possible. Now's the time for Pickett's charge. Let's do it. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to issue an order to charge the center. And how I'm going to... Oh, no. We're going to start with tower. And what we're going to do is we're going to say move at signal, which means that once everybody receives the orders, I can tell them all when to go. Oh, here he comes. He's launching an attack on me, it looks like. Oh, no. Move at signal. Yeah, never mind that. Looks like he's attacking me. How far can I zoom in, Graham? I can zoom in all the way down to ground level here. Wow, that's a lot of dead Union soldiers. That's Dana's brigade, his boys laying there. I'm hoping he's going to come in at me with a melee attack because it's possible in that scenario I drive off a couple of these brigades. Oh, no, don't go. Change my mind, just stay here. Randolph withdrawn. That's his artillery. Nope, stay here. Stay here, boys. He's attacking me. he's coming at Miles. Come on, Miles, drive him off. These are the Frenchmen, Lafayette's sons. Yeah, Comrade Prippen, I like this. I like the map too. Will Simmons, that's basically what you would call the cult of the offensive, which was very popular at the beginning of World War I. The idea that it was the theory that you have such an advantage when attacking. And I mentioned this in my video yesterday on the other channel. You have such an advantage in attacking that if you're being attacked and you're losing, the only proper strategy is not to fortify, it's not to withdraw, it's to counterattack. Oh, Hanson, I don't know about that. General Washington was not a great tactical commander. Washington was a phenomenal leader of men. He was not a great battlefield commander. As a Vegu, I have been the last few days lately. I've been trying to promote that other channel. I've been posting. If you subscribe to this channel, you'll see my posts. And anytime I post a new video to the other channel, I post something on here about it to let you guys know. Yeah, that's what I mean, Bjorn. Washington was a phenomenal... I don't know that any other general could have won the war but Washington. But it wasn't because of Washington's skill on the battlefield. It was his skill in everything else that made him the right guy for the job. To the Confederate commander. Nuts! Oh yeah, Bjorn, I love that quote from Band of Brothers. Alright, we're hanging on. Somehow, some way. It's a, yeah, it's whenever it's a post like a text post. It's not a post like a video post. But if you're subscribed, you should see that. There was one earlier today. He did actually say that? I wasn't... You know, I read... I have Dick Winter's biography, or autobiography. But I guess I'd have to read it again. I don't remember if I missed that part or what. Lieutenant Rice, played by Jimmy Fallon in Band of Brothers. Who would have thought Jimmy Fallon and David Schwimmer could be in Band of Brothers and pull it off effectively? I saw somebody post. I was watching. It was just the clip from Band of Brothers of the scene where David Schwimmer's character, Captain Sobel, walks by Major Winters and he doesn't salute, and Major Winters calls him on it. And you know, all the episodes of Friends the titles were all "The One Where" and then something. We got a big hole in our right now. And somebody commented and said, "The one where Ross doesn't salute." Oh yeah, Simon Pegg, that's right. He played Bill Evans, who was the company first sergeant. All right, our right is collapsing. And now he's going to start moving on the left. This is actually pretty sound strategy right now. And Zealous Tower's low on ammo. Now that he's largely turned our right, he's going after the left. And that's going to do it. Donnie Wahlberg was fantastic in Band of Brothers. Yeah, that's a good point. They even got New Kids on the Block in on the action. Yeah, Will Simmons, I've seen that. That's like the making of Band of Brothers. It is very, very good. I enjoyed that behind-the-scenes look. Yeah, this Confederate general's not very good, but he's got me with these numbers, there's nothing I can do. But we did much better than I thought we would in that battle. We're up to 34% casualties now. We've inflicted 10,000 on the enemy. And I think a lot of my casualties are from units that fled the battlefield. Who is leading this force? It's a guy I've not really heard of. What's his name? It's got to be whoever commands. Oh, Philip St. George Koch is in charge of the Army of the Potomac. I don't know if he's the overall commander here or not. Bring me Knight or bring me Blucher. Alright, it's time for the desperate charge. Oh, Maher, the Irish Brigade finally got elite status. That's a good Irish looking flag right there. I want to see that Irish flag. There it is. Oh, lovely. Let's go, boys. Bjorn, yes, I did know that about the bayonet fight. It's just that Bull Randleman wasn't really featured in the D-Day episode. They kind of showed him as a point of view character in the Holland episode, which is why they showed it there. Yeah, it is suicide, but this battle's over, so. Robinson's holding his own, actually. Maher finally broke. All right, let's retreat. I would imagine the war's over, but we'll see what happens. Yeah, the Cav held pretty good on the left as long as they could. Zealous Tower and the 13th PA Volunteers. Almost 1,000 casualties now, and they're out of ammunition too, but still holding. Whew, boy, look at those losses. This is a lot like the end for the Confederacy, where you had 25,000 men and you lose like 9,000 of them in one battle. Situation in doubt. I don't know where that one's from. Our national morale dropped another whole point. Yeah, that's pretty much going to do it. And now they're going to take Philadelphia. Guadalcanal. Disaster at Elkton Bridge. Yep. And now the road is open to Philadelphia for the Confederacy, and with it, I think the end of the war. We're national morale's at 27. I can't get any of my men to fight because my whole Army of the Potomac's still retreating. Did he just take Fort Monroe? He did. He took Fort Monroe. There goes the First Corps, and now the door is open to Philly. French invasion. Oh, that's for Mexico. That's not on us. All right. Got excited there for a minute. Yeah, Kenny, not a lot I can do about it because my whole 100,000 man Army of the Potomac is caught in an endless retreat cycle, or else I would have moved them back on Washington and this whole thing would have been different by now. There goes the Confederate Army to take Philly. And then, of course, Grant's army down here. Looks like they're going to end up fighting, but Grant's army is completely empty at the moment, too. We can't push in Kentucky because I'm missing 57,000 men. I reorganized Grant's army into corps, and when I did, they all got stuck in this ETA of like 150 to 300 days. What happened was they made a major update to the game, and it glitched me out, unfortunately. He just took Fort Mifflin, so Philadelphia will fall, and with it, the Union. We're just waiting for the morale to drop. Tell Grant to do like the last samurai and charge across all by himself. So I'm just waiting for the notification that Philadelphia falls. Oh, is he going to move on to Trenton and New York? I don't think he needs them. Yeah, there it is. Philadelphia captured March 15th. That was a week ago. I can't believe that didn't end the war. Casualties here. Yeah, I've lost 42,000 men to the Confederates' 108,000. Disaster at Delaware. Oh, he took Fort Delaware. He landed another Confederate force down here in Delaware, and they're marching up against my perpetual... Oh, they're finally... Whoa, hey, they're finally in winter quarters. You telling me I can finally move all these guys? Too bad the war's over. Take Philly. Go now, boys. How many men are here? 249,000 men. Auto-resolve. Let's get out of there. I'm going to send the whole Army of the Potomac down to Baltimore. Oh, we finally got a Army perk. Major Union victory. I don't know what's going on right now. Trying to make this newspaper go away is what's going on. European support waivers. What's going on here? Go away. Oh, hey, national morale's up to 32. All right, let's slow down the situation here. Maybe this ain't over, guys. I don't know how I can pull back from this, but give me ambulance corps. We're going to send everybody over to Washington. If nothing else, he's got to attack me. Their contracts shouldn't have expired. They have 2-year contracts for the most part. So now he's going to have to turn around and come back after me, I think. So we'll get down there. We'll take Baltimore. Hopefully take Washington back. I don't know what's going on here. We're not actually engaging this army. How long until we actually get these units? Still 119, 101, 79. So we're about 3 months away from getting some of those units back. But we did send McDowell down to take Corinth. And take Corinth he has. And I think what I'm going to do here is build a fort and a supply depot if I can. Grant's using harsh language at them. Well, that wasn't something Grant did much at all. In his biography, he mentions at one point saying the word darn, And he was depressed for weeks because he had said the word darn. That's just kind of how he was. All right, we'll go up to 5 times speed now. All right, let's pause for a second because some of these units are in defensive stance, which means they will not support any attack that happens, and we definitely need them to do that. First Corps, let's give them the hospital perk as well. Let's go, boys. Grant left his swearing to Sherman. Yeah, that's about it. Hey, Derek, how's it going? All right, national morale's at 32. Looks like he's laying siege to Fort Morgan outside of New York with their 131 men. Willett's points only got 41 men, so we're not going to hold New York. If he wants to take it, he will. We've got to hurry up and grab Baltimore back. Well, if this would have happened sooner, the whole situation would have been different because I could have taken Baltimore and Washington back months ago if these guys hadn't been stuck on perpetual retreat. What's his numbers look like? He's down to 518,000. And I think he's got some serious supply issues as well. Oh, that's a Fort Sumter garrison. They're trying to lay siege to Sumter. Oh, Bjorn, I think a lot of folks, Mexican intervention escalates, British and Spanish withdraw. I would guess a lot of folks know the nut story from Bastogne. Only 500,000. Yeah, that's all they got. Come on, guys, stay close. We're going to need every man we've got. All right, so he's about to take New York. All right, here we go. Is there anywhere further west? I might be able to. I got 97,000 men. That's right. He's got 214,000. Of course he does. Under General Johnston. I don't know that it saved James, but it's prolonged. Let's put it that way. As a Vagu, I don't like beer anyway, so find something better to drink. Amaretto sour. I'm in the basement. My 13-year-old son is on the second floor of the house, and I can hear him yelling while playing. What's he playing? He's playing, oh gosh. Oh, this always happens when I stream. I can't remember the name. It's a game where you're in space and you can explore and you can do mining on different planets and stuff like that. Darn it. Will, that's fair. No, not Space Engineers. It's older than that. A couple years ago. Darn it. Why can't I remember the name of that game? I used to play it all the time on my Xbox. And why is our battle not loading? I finally got my army to move. No, it's not Stellaris. It's now it's a game where you stand on the planet and you can, oh gosh. No, it's nothing like Spore at all. It's similar to Space Engineers. I'm Googling it now. No Man's Sky. Thank you, Will. That's it. I knew it had the word no in it, but I couldn't remember the rest for some reason. Okay. What's the strength? Right now it's 30,000 men each. The question, it all comes down to when reinforcements arrive. So let's take a look. 3 hours for the 1st Corps, 11 for the 4th, 13 for the Army of the Susquehanna, and the 3rd Corps. What about him? His Army of the Northwest is about to arrive. So we've got some time before Jackson and Lindsey's armies arrive. Though it looks like Lindsey's army might not have anybody in it. So this is a huge battle. The Battle of the Susquehanna River. All right, so morale looks good for us. And it's gonna depend a lot on where the reinforcements come in. And I doubt highly we're going to finish this battle today. This is probably going to be saved for another day in the middle somewhere, but we'll see. Yeah, well, we're playing Gettysburg again because all of these battles are taking place near Gettysburg. So until we finally get our armies moved out of this area, which we're finally starting to do, that's why we keep fighting on the Gettysburg battlefield. But look at Runyon's forces. Looks like a lot of them. I want to look at the order of battle real quick and see who we have here. So we've got the 2nd Battalion, 504th PIR. Hey, we've got some paratroopers here. There's Sickles, Excelsior Rifles. He's only got 248 men. What in the world happened to them? We're going to have to get them built back up. 1st Armagh Irish have 545 men. 1st Massachusetts Sharpshooters only 553. So these guys, when they were stuck in endless retreat, apparently suffered mad attrition in that one division. Or it might have been when we retreated from that previous battle that they were on the front lines. I think that may be what happened. I bet that's why. All right. It's Sickles, probably the peach orchard and the wheat field. All right, so Runyon's division is going to have to kind of stay in reserve. And Birney's division's only got 1 brigade because that's a newly recruited brigade or division. And the rest of his haven't arrived yet. All right, so the problem is I don't know where my other reinforcements are going to be coming from. I would think they'll all come from the same area. I'm feeling like I want to be close to my reinforcements, because I think that'll make a difference. If his reinforcements arrive on this end of the battlefield and he has to march them all the way across the field to get to me, whereas mine arrive real close, I think that could make a difference. So I'm thinking I'm going to hold north of town. The problem is that the hills all run north and south rather than east to west. So let's send Joseph Dodge. I want to get a look at these positions. Wolf Hill might be a good spot. Maybe even like right here. It's a little further south than I was planning to go, but it might work. We'll get them kind of sorted out where we want them a little better when we get closer. Got John Reynolds in charge of cavalry. Interesting that Reynolds and Meade are cavalry commanders in our timeline. That's actually John A. Reynolds. That's not even John F. That's not the Reynolds. He's John F. Reynolds. Hey, FL Sharpshooter, glad to have you. We thought this war was over, and then finally all of my Army of the Potomac Corps that were in an endless cycle of retreat finally broke out of their endless cycle, and were on the move trying to snatch victory from the jaws of defeat. I don't know what happens after the battle, Benjamin, but yes, during the battle you can capture and use enemy guns. Now, Japan would be ahead of us, not behind. They're almost, actually, Japan, it's well into tomorrow by now. It's probably, what, Friday morning in Japan, I would guess. The developers are watching the stream and saved my game. Well, hopefully the developers are being nice to me today because I finally sent them the second tutorial video, and I'll have the third for them tomorrow. Yeah, Europe is in tomorrow, so I'm sure Japan is as well. All right, these guys are going to be my reserve. It's actually evening, so that hurts me a little bit because we wanted to get into this fight earlier rather than later, but most of it's going to take place the next day. Will, the second tutorial's already in the game? I guess it must have been okay, because usually they email me and tell me, hey, can you fix this, this, and this, but that didn't happen this time. $8:30 Friday morning. Okay, that's what I figured. On YouTube? You couldn't have watched the one I'm talking about this morning, because I didn't send it to him until 11, 12 o'clock. And I don't think they actually downloaded it until after that. There's the end of the day. The UI one? Maybe they do have it on their channel already. That was fast. I'm going to take a look at their thing real quick while we get to the end of the day here. All right, lots of reinforcements arriving. Gergely, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Where are you in Hungary? My wife's grandfather's family's from Hungary, so my wife and my kids are all part Hungarian. My wife's great-grandparents were born in Saho St. Peter, which is, I think it's, I want to say it's not far from Budapest, but I could be wrong about that. Mr. Turin, hello. I guess it's Guten Morgen for you there, huh? Yes, Gergely, that's the town they're from. All right, we got a lot of new units too. Here's our trusty First Corps that's been the only unit we could fight with for some time. So where can we? We're kind of stuck on where we're able to deploy. Tahiti, very cool. Political Whiz Kid, we are snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. The rest of my Army of the Potomac is finally back in action. So we're moving them on the field as best we can here. Where's Sherman? So these guys, their units haven't actually arrived yet. So let's get the First Corps down here. We're still moving these guys where we want them. Hey, the Mod Division has arrived. Oh, dang. I don't think we want to do that. That's the Second Corps is huge. I forgot how huge it was. Let's do this by division. I'm going to have to wait until some of these units arrive. Daniel, how's it going? All right, this is going to be interesting. I have no idea where he is. Let's see what the numbers look like now. You can still see a lot of the units for him are still 8 to 10 hours away. But it's now 136 to 93. But that's all of my men. He's still got a lot more coming. Gwinnett County, Georgia. Nice. My great-grandfather, whose family was from Eastern Kentucky and who was born and raised in Eastern Kentucky, was born in Cartersville, Georgia for some reason. His father, my great-great-grandfather, was a railroad engineer and worked in Bartow County briefly. I would guess Bartow County, named after Francis Bartow, who was killed at the First Battle of Bull Run. All right, lots of troops coming down the road now. I'm just going to start sending divisions various directions in this area here, and then we're just going to get them all sorted out once they're on the field. Yankee occupied Delaware. All right, looks like Sumner actually came to a stop, so let's get him moving again. Same with McDougal. He stopped moving too. Let's move him up right in here. Let's look and see if the Confederates have taken any objectives so we can get a sense of where they are. They do have an entry point right here, which means his reinforcements may be arriving there, so we got to be aware of that. And he's got one over here too. So he's coming in from 3 different sides. All the more reason to keep a tight circle of defense. All right, what's going on here? That's artillery. Custer's division, fragmented, 4,000 men. Let's get them moved up somewhere. That's more artillery there. $10,000 men in this division. Kimes division, let's put them up about right here for now. I'm just trying to get this mass of men cleared up a little bit. I'm sure I wish there was a button like in Total War where you could like hold spacebar and see where folks are all being ordered to, so you know what you're placing where, because I know I've overlapped. There's the Mod Division. They're actually the first ones getting into position. The Mod Division is the division that has units that are named by our moderators from the Discord server. So you've got Grumbaldi's Guard. That's Grumblebee Gaming's brigade. We've got the Eagle Brigade. I'm not sure whose that is. And then Mills Brigade. That's Zach Mills. And then we've got Nelson's British Volunteers, which only have 5 guns right now. We've got to get them some more guns. This is actually a really good spot here. I just want to move down in front a little bit. But we're definitely going to build some breastworks here. About right there. Get building, boys. Oh, Mr. Beep. Okay, that's who's got the Eagle Brigade. All right, so Dodge is actually moving into a good spot now. It's a lot of manpower out here now. But just to think, he's going to have twice as many as I do. That division's only got 1 brigade, too. All right, I'm going to slow things down here because I need to further build some defenses. I'm going to build right along here and then come up and over Wolf Hill and maybe over to like right here somewhere. So let's go like this. There's going to be a long line of breastworks. And then we're going to also kind of go right here with it to say right there. Oh, I think I did that wrong. We can actually build some parapets, but we'll worry about that later. It's always a little tricky because it's actually a right click that you have to do. There. Scuba Dude, how's it going? Hey, Daniel, good night. Russell, how's it going? So we're digging in. We're going to be outnumbered 2-1. It's going to be about a 300,000 man battle when it's all said and done. But we're not going to get to it all today. Mostly this is going to be about maneuvering today. It's going to be our next stream, probably Saturday, that we really get into the fighting. So the 1st Division, we're going to move up to this point right here. And then they're going to build those fortifications. All right, let's dig in over here. We're going to continue this line right along there. Lots. This is by far the most breastworks I will have ever built. And then I think from here we'll go right here with it. Let's move Mink in right here. Sorry, Phil. Petersburg mode. Now, if we can upgrade to parapets, then we'll have true Petersburg mode. But this is a start. These guys all still moving? Looks like they are. Let's go ahead and speed it back up. Oh, we got to get Phillips up here. Let's get Ewing's artillery up here. Henry Halleck in command of a division now. All right, he's getting close, so we may not have time to get all these fortifications built. He's up as far as Powers Hill. But he may not attack right away because he doesn't have all his forces yet. Get building, boys. Get building. Oh, here they come. Darn it. I don't even have all my troops up yet. All right, here's what we're going to have to do. We're going to send a couple of cav units out just to slow him down. Although I might not need to because he may hold off. Can we detonate mines? Mines are a factor in the game, but they're a perk that you can put into the units, and so it's simulated in that way. I don't remember exactly what it does. Yeah, if I can get everything into position, I will build a secondary defense line with some of my reserves. Christopher, I haven't had any trouble so far. I had one other battle that was like 300,000 men. It seemed to do okay for me, but this is the new PC, and it's got a good processor, so it seems to handle it pretty well. I got to get up here and get building on some of these other parts of the line. All right, we'll speed back up a little bit. Oh, Benjamin, do tell. Yeah, it looks like he's going to hold off on advancing, so he's going to give me time to do this. I think some of my artillery is already firing. I've actually got a good spot for artillery up here, so let's move some more into position. Oh, tower, what are you doing? Stay there. Everybody's moving. They're just taking a while. So it's almost 11 o'clock. Let's see where he's at. 4 hours and 6 hours on the rest of his reinforcements. Current strength, 188,000 to 104,000. So he's got the majority of his reinforcements. He's only got 40 guns. I've got 210, which is big, I think. All right. Keep building, boys. Got most of this part of the line built now. Let's get Kime. Move your forces up, buddy. Supply's low, but it's been showing low for them for a while, so I'm kind of counting on that to be an issue for them. And I'm also counting on him waiting to attack until he gets the rest of his reinforcements. I'm going to get Custer up here on the line. Let's get this artillery over there. I want to mass my artillery near the center as much as possible. Hey, there's Joshua Lawrence Chamberlain back on the Gettysburg battlefield. All right, we'll speed back up a little bit. He's pulling back. Interesting. So 66 morale for me, 49 for him. He is trying to kind of get around me. I think he's probing, trying to figure out where the edges of my lines are. The good news is we get through the end of the day here. All right, let's pull this cab back. And we can reorganize this entire line exactly how we want it. A lot of these episodes in this stream have ended with kind of a cliffhanger where we're waiting for the next episode to see what happens. Well, he certainly wasn't famous until after Gettysburg. But 1863, 64, 65 definitely changed that. He got elected governor of Maine. He served as president of Bowdoin College, where he'd been a professor. We're going to be kind of spread out all over, but we'll organize all of our... Oh, man. Okay. Slow down. He's all the way out here. He's hitting me on my flank where I don't have fortifications, of course. Lafayette's sons, the Frenchmen, are out here holding the line. First U.S. sharpshooters have their perk, which we definitely want to be expert skirmishers. Actually, I wanted sharpshooter. Darn it. All right. That was a mistake. That was supposed to be sharpshooters. We'll send out some skirmishers. All right, let's dismount the cav. About to get crazy. Meade, get your boys back. He's trying to get around my lines, that's for sure. These guys don't have any men. New Jersey Militia, that's that unit that's got mostly everybody broken and tiny. Good night, Russell. It is entertaining to be the underdog, I'll give you that. Yeah, Benjamin. It is perfect marketing technique and completely not intentional. Just kind of working out that way. But yes, I agree. Let's get these guys moved up because they can anchor along the bed here of the creek. I got nobody on the line over here. Let's get Schuyler Hamilton up here. And Sidney Burbank, who also was a brigade commander at Gettysburg in real life. As was Thomas Neal. He was also a brigade commander at Gettysburg. Roach, I absolutely think, not only do I think Napoleonic era would translate well into this game, I have a feeling that's going to be their plan. I think that's their idea, is to use this game engine for other wars. That's why they call it Grand Tactician, the Civil War, because I think there are going to be other Grand Tacticians. Alright, we're just going to try to hold tight over here as best we can. I thought I gave the Irish Brigade their flag, but let's try this again. There was a really good Irish flag in here that I can give them for their mark as a elite unit. I'm actually going to hold them in reserve for now. Alright, everything looks good. We're going to be wrapping it up here soon, but I'll let it go a little bit. Lots of artillery in position. Let's make sure they're all clear and firing. I don't think these guys are. I need to get them up the hill a little more. I'm going to pull this cav back a little bit. We still don't have anybody on the center, and he's trying to... I'm moving units to the center, but he is moving to exploit that. It's kind of like a first Minnesota situation at Gettysburg, where you have a unit heading towards a gap in the line, and you've got to hurry up and rush somebody in there to plug the line while the reinforcements make their way over. In this case, who's this Cav? 3rd North Carolina Mounted Infantry. Alright, looks like we're driving them back. I was about to send the Cav in to hit them, but I don't think I'm going to have to. And I've got brigades coming up to fill the line. Alright, now we can see how many men he's got back there. Oh boy. This is going to be interesting. So far, he's already lost 10 of his 40 guns. He's only got 30 left. So far, very few casualties. Supply is in my favor, which is huge, because with that big advantage in guns that I have, keeping them firing as long as possible is going to be really beneficial. I'm going to move some guns up over here. Long range for your whole division. Mason. Yeah, I can't believe that the campaign's even still going, but somehow we managed to stay alive. And now we've got this massive defensive battle. I feel like it's like Spotsylvania with my defensive position. It's raining. How the Frenchmen holding up over here? Pretty good. They've lost 218 men. They've got a good unit behind them, though, in the Irish Brigade. But they're down to 41 rounds, so they've already fired about a third of their ammunition. Problem is, this is the one area I don't have fortifications yet. I could pull them back behind this fence, but they're kind of anchored along the creek at the moment, so I think I'm just going to hold them where they are. We could possibly bring the Irish Brigade around and try to get on his flank. So let's bring the Irish Brigade down here first, and then if I am able to do that, I'll bring them up on this hill. Yeah, thank God Upton is on my side and I don't have a mule shoe. You're right, Upton's actually a corps commander here. He's referring to Emory Upton, who had the plan for the attack on the mule shoe at Spotsylvania, where they kind of stacked one brigade behind another. He got promoted for that. Gonna wrap it up here in a couple minutes. It's been a 2-hour stream. I wasn't planning on going any longer than that. And I gotta check and make sure my kids aren't burning the house down or anything. My wife's aunt passed away last week, and she and my mother-in-law are visiting with her uncle today. That's my mother-in-law's brother who passed. His wife passed away. Brigade today? Well, try a corps tomorrow. At White Run, let's see. Where is his artillery? Up here, he's moving some in. He's only got just those few guns. Meade's finally pulling his cav back. I guess that's the only place he's got any artillery. So let's put, they're 12-pounder Napoleons though. What I need is some rifled artillery, which I don't have. But I could still put them on counter battery fire. Try to take out those guns. Let's see. Let's pull these Napoleons here, over here. Mars just about out to that spot. Once he's there, I'm going to move him. He's fragmented. You got to be careful here, but he is a 3-star elite unit. Now let's move him up onto this spot here. Is that the one they call Barlow's Knoll now? I think Blotcher's Knoll became Barlow's Knoll. Alright, we're driving these guys back. Breckinridge's brigade. Alright, 3-1 casualties right now. That's pretty good. Let's look at the situation here. Morale's still about the same. We've already routed at least one unit though. There he goes. I think we're going to do okay here. Who's this? Oh, these are the guys I have moving up over here. Alright, I'm going to wrap it up right there. Make sure you're subscribed and have all notifications on. That way, when I announce when the next stream will be, you can catch it. And if you don't, it's okay, because everything goes live afterwards and it goes right into the playlist, so you'll still be able to watch it even if you can't watch it live. So it'll be there. Thank you guys. I hope you guys had as much fun watching as I've had playing. But we'll see you again in a few days.